If we both just, oh,
There
here we
it is.
go.
So it took a minute.
So that's okay. Yeah, I mean, ideally it wouldn't take any time at all, but I think a minute's okay. Um,
Okay.
I think it's been 2 minutes. I think I said to Kieran before we were going to do the collective thinking webinar, I said just go in at least 2 minutes early, because then it definitely will have started. I think it normally starts after a minute,
Yeah.
but that's fine. So what I've done is in the Call Collective folder on Dropbox,
Yeah.
if you go into Call Group and then Online Demo, in fact, I'll just share my screen.
Okay.
This just is a loose. Oh, hang on, that's not what I always do that. Just a loose structure. So I'm trying to there's some things that aren't really on the website that are quite good to summarize at the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
So I've kind of put it under the basics heading, and I think the main thing you want to get across, I think, for someone who's literally never used the system ever, and they've just plunged into an online demo, they don't really know anything about it. Is just reinforced that it's like an integrated service. So originally teleconferencing was kind of the only thing you did, and then video conferencing came along, and then eventually web conferencing. And what we've got here is web conferencing that completely integrates with telephone lines as well at the same time. And you can either do one or the other, or you can have a combination of the two. So I've had personally, sometimes if my internet connection's been a bit dodgy, I'll just dial in on the phone and then watch the screen share on my computer. So that in practice, people end up doing that sometimes as well. So I think that's a good way to just kind of kick off, and then also just reinforcing that it's an account that the customer has, and they can have lots of users. I guess you'd probably want to mention that each user is like its own subscription. So I don't know, there might be a way of kind of not dwelling on that too much. Because then they're going to think, oh God, this is going to be expensive. You don't want to give them that impression. You want to kind of reinforce the idea that they can have one user account and they can have lots and lots of conference calls. There's no limit to the amount of calls they can have. It just means that they can't have two at the same time. If they want to have two at the same time on the same customer account, then they'd have to add another user and pay another subscription. So yeah, it's just kind of what is the chat?
I think it's mine. I think he's just come back to me.
Okay.
Oh, what? That was from a long time ago.
Oh, right.
That was from March the 27th.
Yeah, it's because it remembers who people are, and then I think they read
it's
it.
strange that they've thought to say, "Oh, that's great, thank you," like 3 weeks later.
Yeah. March 27th.
Because I've spoken to them via email as well. Oh well.
I had a guy on the phone earlier. It's a very long phone conversation. But he was saying he tried to chat to us and he got the bot, and then nobody picked up his chat, and I couldn't find it in the.
Was it out of hours or something? Was it when we did the?
Yeah, it was before we kicked off. It was.
Okay.
I think it was this.
So then he mustn't have answered that question, and then I guess it doesn't come through to us if it was that one.
Oh yeah, it looks like the bot handles it. I mean, the bot handled it as it should, and it says if you want to call 033 blah 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 between 9 and 5.
The other one that's at 8:12 that said, "Did you take a look at our searchable knowledge base?" I never answered that question, so I guess it can't do anything. That one below it.
Oh yeah.
I guess if they don't click an answer, then the conversation's like over.
Okay, I think it's fine then. I don't know why he was trying to make out that we were ignoring him, but I don't know. It's fine. So where was I? Yes. So um, the other thing I'd kind of mention at the beginning is that as a user, you have you kind of have one conference room.
Yeah.
It's not designed like why, especially if someone's coming over from YPay. It's not
Yeah.
designed in the same way that you can have you just they're really disposable and you can just create as many as you like.
Yeah.
Um, you just reuse. You have your own conference room and you use it for lots of different things with different people. So and just reinforcing that it's in the URL
Yeah.
and it's what you dial to actually get in on the phone, and then it's simple. That's another thing with YPay. Obviously, we have a PIN with YPay, but with this, if you dial in on the phone, it's just one number and that's it.
Okay.
So in a way, it's a lot simpler than YPay from
Yeah.
a room perspective.
Yeah.
So that's just another thing to bear in mind, like high level sort of things. And then I don't know if I've talked to you about this or if you know about this, but actually, I've kind of mentioned it a bit further down. But okay, let's just go through this. So, um, I put online meeting room. That's just basically saying just talk about the online meeting room.
Yeah.
And then I put dial-in details. That's just mentioning that you can see this coming here.
Yeah.
That if you click on menu, it's a good reference point. This conference details.
Yeah.
Because I found when I first started using this, I was a bit confused. Like now, for example, I can't actually see my dial-in details anywhere on the screen
Yeah.
because it's just showing that I'm sharing my screen. So if you ever need them for reference, they're always here.
Okay.
Um,
Can anyone see that, or is it just you?
can you see it
That's
on?
me just
I think you
spinning my.
can. Have you got the menu option? I think you do.
Yes, I do. Yes. No, I
You
can't see.
haven't.
Oh, yeah, I can see conference details. Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I
So everyone can see them.
settings,
And
connection test, help, etc. Yeah, I can see them.
okay, cool. Yeah. So and there's quite a lot on there. You can copy them. You can see the dial-in numbers.
Oh yeah.
Um, you can see the phone controls as well. That's a good point
Yeah.
to make. So this is kind of this is quite a commonly used window, and it's just one of those things that they won't notice at the beginning, but they'll actually want to use this quite a lot probably.
Oh yeah, my phone controls are different because I'm not the host. That's cool, or the moderator.
Yeah, so it should update.
Yeah, that's good.
And then yeah, another thing, especially if someone's coming over from YPay, I think one of the ways I try and pitch it is that yeah, you might not want all of these extra features, like maybe you don't want video or something. But even if you're just a teleconferencer and you've been doing it for years, what you don't get with a teleconference is the amount of control that you do with this. So I can see who's here, I can mute people, I can kick them out, I can invite them during the call. There's all sorts of things you can do that you just couldn't do with a telephone conference. So I think it's worth kind of reinforcing that. Because it's just a development of communication, really, that they're able to do all these things.
Okay, cool.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think Elliot's just dropped out.
Okay. Sorry I was late. Yeah, I just had a call with AWS, do our hosting.
Yeah.
Which was very positive. So
That's
because I'm looking at them to be corporate sponsor, at least give us the hosting for nothing, and I think there's a strong chance they will, which is really good.
Oh, that's really good.
And they were actually quite open to a conversation about, being more of a sponsor too and doing some other stuff. So
That's really good.
be amazing if they do, because they host Just Giving. So I'll be surprised if they're that bold. But the guy was seemed to be quite senior.
Yeah. When are you speaking to them again?
Sorry.
When are you speaking to them again?
Got a meeting with 2 or 3 others on Wednesday, Thursday this week. So he says he's going to be back in touch. But
That sounds good.
very positive. I think Elliot's not coming back. I frightened him off.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you are there.
Oh.
You can hear you, but your screen's still frozen.
Yeah, I thought my audio was still loading, but obviously you
I
can hear me.
think it's just your screen says loading at the moment.
Yeah, I've got a loading image on your screen
Okay.
at the bottom.
I'm just going to retry that. Okay. Still doing that.
Wait for him to go.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. That's
okay.
I don't know what happened.
A little bit buggy this at the moment, doesn't it?
Yes. I managed to resolve that by quitting Chrome rather than just refreshing the actual URL, which seems to
I'm
work.
just seeing a loading screen now. I can't see anybody. Just don't know what's going on with IOTM.
Mine's working, but on the screen, the picture of your screen, Elliot, I'm seeing a loading screen.
Yeah,
But
so am I.
the actual screen, I'm not seeing a loading screen. Like your screen was moving, but it was just the little icon of you was frozen. I don't understand.
Is that better?
Yeah, it seems to be working at the moment.
Okay. The screen sharing was glitching, I think, for some reason. Okay, so I did hear that, Kieran. That's good news.
Right. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm lunching.
That's all right.
It's a very long lunch today.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll just mute myself 1 minute.
Okay.
I think there's a good chance they may do a lot more. They've got this meeting on Wednesday, Thursday, but he seemed really open and quite positive.
Yeah, no, that's really, really good. And he's open to talking potentially about giving us loads of money.
Well, in the first instance, I think what they're going to do is make sure we're not paying, which is great because it's another of those costs that could get quite big as we scale.
Yeah.
So if we can get credits at the first instance, I mean, I think there's no doubt he's going to add credits, which is great. But he certainly wasn't opposed to having a much more detailed conversation about whether they could get behind and put the logo on it and do some case studies and that kind of stuff. So, but I did say to him, the last thing I want is more charities at the moment. I need cash.
Yeah. No, it's funny how the tables have turned, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've been wanting charities for so long.
Yeah. We don't want charities at the moment. We don't want fundraisers either. We just want some money. If I got some money, I'd be really relaxed about both of the above. But
have you spoken to Aaron or Steve since this morning?
I've tried to arrange. Well, they've suggested Friday lunchtime for a meeting, but I'm a bit reluctant to go up for an hour because it's like 2.5 hours drive either direction, and they will literally see me on the lunch break, which is not really what I want. But I'm trying to have this meeting tonight and no one's confirmed that they're coming yet, apart from one confirmation, I think, maybe.
Oh, sorry, Carmen.
That's okay. It just kept saying I'd been muted by the moderator, so I couldn't unmute.
Oh, hang on a minute. That's.
But it was me that muted myself, so I don't know why that happened.
That's not right, because currently, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Because if we're in Q&A mode, you should definitely be able to unmute yourself.
I mean, it was me that muted myself. It was definitely buggy because it just kept saying, you've been muted by the moderator.
I did mute you because when you went on mute, it suddenly came off of mute.
Oh,
so then I muted you because I could hear you answer the phone, so I quickly muted you.
Okay.
But even then,
it wouldn't let me unmute myself. It just kept playing that message back over and over again saying that the moderator's muted me and that I can't unmute myself.
Okay.
Anyway, what did I miss? What have you decided?
So you missed. What I've done is I've just put quite a loose structure together for the online demos. It's more because I think in reality, when we do this, it's going to be really quite conversational. Just because it's normally going to be one person. Yeah. And it's good that it's like that. But I think what this does is just kind of gives you a nice overview of things that you can mention. It's probably just quite nice so that you don't forget anything and think, oh, I should have mentioned that as well. But I've kind of started, I've put this into the call group Dropbox folder under online demo.
Right.
And what I've done, it's also included the wonderful PDF. I don't know what you think about this, but I thought it would be quite a nice thing to demo a document presentation with.
Yeah.
I don't see why we shouldn't. It might be something to talk about with the right person as well. So, but yeah, that's all in this folder. These 3 images here are. Oh, I'm getting a lot of echo there. Someone just put their speakers on or something.
My speakers are so low.
I can turn mine down. I can put headphones in just in case.
Yeah, it's yours, Carmen.
Is that better? I've got headphones in now.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've got myself now. I can hear myself.
I can't hear any echo.
Me neither.
I can hear echo on your voice, Kieran, and my own. I've got headphones in though.
Yeah, I've got headphones in as well. That's really weird.
Okay. Anyway. So just initially, I've basically put basics at the top, which is just things I think are worth mentioning, especially if someone's coming from YPay onto Call Group, because these are kind of like the fundamental things that are different to the way YPay works. And I think the first thing to mention is that it's an integrated service, so you can do teleconferencing and video conferencing or web conferencing or any combination of the two, really. So I think it's quite a nice selling point just to start off with, that it's like seamlessly integrating everything together. And then the other thing was that each user has their own conference room and they only have one. So whereas YPay, you can have up to 50, and we encourage you to kind of create as many as you like. This works in a different way, really, where you use your room to the end of its life, sort of thing. Throughout the week, you could have, 10 different conference calls in the same room, and that's the way it's designed to work. So let's think what's next. Yeah, and then I just saying to Carmen, one of the things to mention is the dial-in details. I think a lot of the time, the conference details section is a good reference point. It's got a lot of things that you actually end up using quite a lot, like copying them, the phone controls you can see from here. You can see all the dial-in numbers you have available, and participants can see this as well. So this just gets them familiar with how it works. They have a URL, they have an access code, and a number to ring, and I think it's just one of these windows that I couldn't really work out where it was when I first started using the system. So I think it's worth pointing it out that it's all here for you. And then obviously you can talk about scheduling and invitations, and the fact that, like YPay, you can do it manually, and just, you can send a text message or however you want to invite people, as long as you give them the right details. Or you can use the system itself, which is good, and you have help with time zones and all sorts of things like that, scheduling and calendar integration. And then what else have we got? Yeah, the connection test I'd probably mention to someone on the demo as well, just because you want to encourage people to use that from the beginning, so that they don't kind of start complaining to us when it's actually their internet connection or something like that. It's just worth mentioning, I think.
Where's that again, Elliot, just while they're on?
It's in the menu.
It's just in the menu, yeah. It's just here.
Gotcha.
And participants also have access to that as well, as Carmen.
That doesn't pop up when you join, does it? A connection test doesn't ask you if you want to do one. Okay.
No, it's just there if you need it, basically.
Okay, cool.
But it does come in your first invitation, so there is a link.
Okay, cool.
So if people are asking when you're doing the demo, say you're obviously that you can let people know, but there's a speed test link, connection test link in the invitations.
Yeah, so they can do that before joining, a few minutes before or whatever. Okay, cool.
Another thing, actually, I haven't thought about this, but also the getting help and support. I guess you'd mentioned this naturally anyway, but they can chat to us on the website. They can call us or they can email us. So one of the things I've just noticed that we need to update is we have a help link here which goes to our help desk, which I've actually removed the help desk from the front-facing website for now, just because I just think it's a lot. I don't know. Have you guys seen this? I just did a quick page. I'll show you. I haven't changed anything as such. I've just displayed the information. So I've got a get help page, which just has simple information about how to get help, either if you've got questions or you actually need customer support. So I've just put this in place of the help desk for now, until we can work out what we're doing with that. Sorry, go on.
I was just thinking, because I would say 8:30 to 6:30. Does the phone, because on the other calls it's 9 till 5 for the phone number, but are we doing 8:30 to 6:30 for the call group help live?
No, it's chats 8:30 to 6:30, but I wouldn't do telephone because the telephone actually shuts down.
Okay, cool.
So we probably just want to specify what that's for. I would put them maybe underneath the callers, chat to us, email us. So you've got callers, the times there, chat to us and email us anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, so when's the call? That's 9 to 5, is it?
9 to 5, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I can just change that.
Why did you not want to link to the help desk?
Well, we spoke about it last week, Kieran, and I think you said that just prioritize.
So it's getting the FAQ and stuff done. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, rather than trying to hack that in a short amount of time, I'm just gonna put this page up and then get on with everything else. And then we're not under any danger here. We can, they know what to do if they need it. Yeah. So.
And the email still goes into the help desk anyway, so it's absolutely fine.
Exactly.
I mean, the help desk isn't the nicest of interfaces. It may be an approach that we go for all of them and just say email, and it goes into a help desk and it's tracked and monitored, which is fine. The only thing is, I think it's quite nice for doing the. Once we get them all there, I think the knowledge-based stuff is quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is.
So.
But we'll have to. I'll have to revisit that maybe later this week.
Yeah, there's no rush.
Okay. So, where else was I? Okay. So yeah. So security features. I don't know how much you guys fully understand this because I haven't really talked about it much. I don't know if you've tried it, but basically, the security, you can add quite a lot of security to a conference if you want to. So it's another kind of one up we would have on YPay here, because YPay, although it's very secure, this has additional security features that you can turn on and off. So
you said sorry, you said this doesn't have a pin, right? It's just
exactly. So this is the difference is with YPay you add the pin at the end, which actually adds a level of security, because there's two numbers that you've got to enter. But with this, you can essentially do the same thing, but the pin is kind of optional.
Okay, so, cool. Just in case your customer was asking if it was less secure. Okay.
Moderator controls, yeah. So the conference call is currently unlocked, and this is kind of an on-demand security feature. So you can either lock it.
Conference call locked. No other callers permitted.
And when you lock it, it's literally nobody can enter, no matter who they are. If they enter the moderator pin, they still won't be able to enter the room. So if we were about to just briefly discuss some really confidential information, we'd probably use this feature, and then just unlock
Conference
it again.
Call unlocked.
I don't know if you're getting that.
Allowed to join.
Announcement.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. And then obviously when you're scheduling a call, there's also another security feature where it's called a one-time access code. And what that does is this access code that you normally use will temporarily change for that specified time that you schedule the conference for. And you can also, as an addition to that, you can add an extra layer of security, which is a PIN number. So those are the three kind of security measures that you can put in place. But the one-time access code is part of the additional security code. So you can't have, in fact, I'll just show you if I just go to. If I schedule a call, there's security settings here. And then it's saying, do you want to use the normal access code or do you want to use a one-time access code? So if I choose that, I get this, and that's going to be the access code for that scheduled call. And then if I want to add an extra layer of security, I can actually choose the code I want on top of that. It can be as long as I like. So yeah, it's really good. It's really secure, and I think it will give people a lot of confidence. Anyone who's worried about security, it's just worth showing them that, I think.
Just to ask, will it ask you to put in a code then, or is that what I changed the end of the URL to be, the one-time access code, or is it going to ask
you to enter it?
Yeah, okay. It'll ask for it, yeah.
And then it'll ask for another security code.
It'll do that on dial-in and on the website. I'm guessing it will just say as you're entering, pop the security code in here.
Okay, cool.
No, so just to reiterate, this code is what will go in the URL, and then this is the one you'll enter.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
In that case, yeah. So that's that. I'm just trying to do this quickly because I know we're all busy. And then so then after that, I mean, those are kind of the high level things, and then you can just start talking about the features and demonstrating them if you want to. So I know I mentioned I put the wonderful document up. You can use that to present a document and flick through the pages. Just to remind you both, if you want to upload a file, you don't actually do it. You don't do it using the share button here. You actually have to go to chat, and then there's a little icon down here to upload a file. Once you've uploaded it, there's a present button. So actually, I won't show you. You've both probably done this before, but you can present and then you can flick through page by page. So yeah, and then it's a case of going through the other features if they want to talk about them, if they're interested in them. And then I've just mentioned some other sort of miscellaneous things. I think international dial-in numbers is quite a good one. A lot of people, if they're paying for a subscription, this will be what they're paying for, I think. Just because it's kind of thing that if you really need, you'll pay for it, because a lot of people, it's kind of an expense that they just think, well, we just need to take this expense because we don't want people getting charged loads and loads and loads to do. We need to be able to do meetings and then not cost people a fortune, basically.
Yeah.
So that's a key one to talk about. And then recording both audio and video, you can show them how those work. Maybe worth mentioning that video recording isn't instant like audio recording is. So I think me and Carmen just kind of tried it with this call. It takes about 1 minute to kick in.
Yeah.
So it's worth mentioning that if they think they're going to use that as a feature as well. And then transcriptions. So they are obviously not 100% accurate, but they definitely have their uses. But other than that, I think that's it. I didn't want it to be really scripted because, like I say, it's going to be conversational anyway. So but hopefully that document, if you've got one scheduled, you can have a quick look through it so you don't forget anything.
Would you mention any tips like wearing headphones, or would you not?
That's a really good point. Yes, I'll add that to this.
If one of the most common things is echo and stuff, it might be worth just telling them from the start to if they can wear headphones.
Yeah, I think that's worth mentioning as a sort of high level thing as well at the beginning here. Yeah,
I think definitely. What would be worth doing in there, Elliot, is just put the link into the blog post of Carmen's and say, and share it via the chat and say, bookmark this because it'll be useful.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Because I think it's really good that it goes through most of
how we send out invites? Do you think we could put that on the invites or something similar to that on the invites that gets sent out, or is that difficult to do?
I think it's difficult to do because I don't think we've got control. I mean, I think we can make some changes to it, but we've got to get them, into the developers to put in.
It was just so that everyone who uses it then has seen it, and hopefully that would eliminate more problems. But
I think they do get some kind of information anyway in the invitation. There are some links to some bits and pieces, but I think we want to keep that one, close to hand, the one how to conference like a boss, because I think there were some really good little bits and pieces in there.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Definitely. I was just putting that in as part of the Act On emails. I think that's another good place to link from an email.
Yeah.
So I was just drafting one up and I put a section in for that guide. So yeah, I think, and we can improve it over time as well. So we can just keep referring to it as we go along.
Yeah. I think that's a good one to edit as new stuff comes up and users raise other issues. It's one to keep as a living document. It's fine.
Yeah,
definitely. Okay. Is there anything else you guys can think of? I think we've covered pretty much everything.
No, I think that's it. I think you want to try and keep it, if we can, to that sort of 15 minutes time frame and just get through. And I think once you've done, a couple of them, you'll get them off that and they'll be really quick and easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I think we've gone through everything on that. The only thing that might be worth doing, I know you've got the wonderful PDF corporate sponsor guide in there. Wonder whether it's worth adding another couple of quick documents into that folder so that we've just got everything that we might want to share, so you can just share an image or something as well.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing like an image slideshow, but then I realized you can't actually do that with this system as it stands. So maybe just an image. I'll just put an image in here of something random.
When I did mine for the collective thinking one the other day, in terms of the startup screen, what I did was I shared my full screen on my other monitor, and then I opened the file in preview and hid the toolbar and everything. So it literally was the whole screen, and that seemed to work quite well. But I know you guys don't have two. Well, you do have two screens, don't you? Because you're using laptops, and you do, Carmen. I don't know whether you do, Elliot. But
no, I don't.
There's an approach that worked quite well, and I suppose you could just share the application window preview and just hide the toolbar and open a JPEG in that before you start. If people are arriving before you, I don't know how, because you suggested doing it in a slightly different way, didn't you, to me? But
then do you not think if we do that, customers might be frustrated that they don't know how we did that if they can't replicate it?
Well, they can.
Yeah.
What I did, I don't know that I've got anything. I'll just show you very quickly.
Or every time I full screen a window, it actually disables the screen sharing. I don't know if that's because I'm using one screen.
I'll show you what I did. Let me just see whether I can open something. I've still got it. I might have deleted it. Sorry about this. I'm just trying to find a file. I've got one I know I can open. So what I'm going to do, I'll just share my application window and see whether this works. View and the full screen. Are you seeing anything at the moment or not?
Yeah, seeing that video demonstration.
So basically what I did there was I just put preview into full screen mode and opened that file, and then just I'd shared my screen too rather than sharing. Hang on a minute, I'll tell you what, I shared the application window, I'm sure. So
I might have to try that on mine.
No, I'm sharing. I'm not. Tell a lie. I'm sharing screen 2.
Oh, right.
Just do it again. So what I'm doing, I've got 2 monitors. So I put the file in preview in full screen mode, and then I'm sharing screen 2. So are you still seeing it?
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't have 2 monitors, do you, Elliot? You've only got your laptop.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just going to try it now, if that's all right.
Let me stop sharing.
If 2 people try to share at once, what happens?
I don't think you can until the other person releases. Am I right in that or not?
I don't know if it took over.
I think it would take over.
Will it take over? Okay, I've not tried.
We can try
I've
it in a
always
sec.
assumed you have to release.
So with me, because I only have one screen, it doesn't quite work the same. So I'm sharing my preview now, my preview application. If I then full screen it, I think it will just lose it.
Yeah. No,
it's there. It's there.
Is it there?
It's there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, I didn't know it did that. That's quite good. Okay. So now if you try and share, Kieran, it should overwrite me. Carmen will be able to confirm.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
Well, that is good. Okay, so that's useful to know as well. We should do these calls more often.
We're all learning still. Okay, good.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of features, and it's good.
Yeah. Okay. If there's any questions, let me know, and I can confirm any little details. But I think we're good to go, really. Do we want to do some practice ones? I mean, I personally, I feel quite confident. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I might do one with you, Elliot, just at some point, just so you can trip me up. But
okay.
I don't think we need all 3 of us on. So maybe, Carmen, if you wanted to do the same and just book Elliot for 15 minutes at some point.
Okay.
I'll do it when I've got a spare 15 minutes. It probably won't be this early this week at least, but I'll maybe back end of the week or something like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe do it individually. And just and Elliot, because given that you know your way around it better than anyone else, it's probably best if you're the audience.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, I mean, in reality, when these things, I mean, I did do an online demo last week with a lady who she just had very specific questions, so I ended up sort of just answering them, and then she was kind of okay with that. So I think they will vary quite a lot as we do them. Some people will want the full demo experience, and some people will just be like, no, I just want you to tell me if it does this sort of thing. So we'll have to be flexible, but I think that's a good thing. You just, keep it conversational. And so, yeah. Should we call it a day?
I think so. Just before you sign off, though, you've probably just got an invitation to Rule 5 next week. I'd suggest not going, Elliot. I wouldn't bother unless you've already booked your ticket. If you have, come, but if you haven't, because we're not going to carry on with them post.
Yeah, I think I did. I emailed you saying, "Shall I still come?"
Yeah,
I think,
and I said yes.
Oh, you said yes. Oh, sorry.
Did I? If I said no, don't. If I said yeah, either way's fine. If you're up and you're booked, then come. If you're not booked, don't come.
I haven't booked it because I might have missed your reply, but
no, I probably did say don't bother, but I can't remember. But given that we're not going to carry on, it seems a bit of a waste of your time coming. I'll just go and do that last one with them.
Yeah. But shall I get that?
Do you want to grab that? All right. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Hello, wonderful Elliot speaking. Okay.